let's be real, sometimes things go wrong.
Yeah. Not
often, and not through anybody's particular fault, but I'm sure we've all got stories of when. I know I have a story of when things when.
How do I
put my teeth in when things go wrong?
Yeah. When you're traveling,
when you're traveling, yeah.
Either when you're there or getting there or whatever. Yeah.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
So, quite a few years ago, I spoilt and treated my parents to business class to New York.
Nice.
First time they filmed business, and they never want to turn right ever again. But this was when I was living in New York, and so I had quite a few points and air miles to do. So I booked the tickets for them. And this is, I'm going to state this very clearly. This is before I started Travelux. This is before working in travel. And I spelt my mum's name Debbie, because that's what she's called.
Oh.
Apart from on her passport, it's Deborah. And at no point did that register ever. So I'd booked these flights, and they were from Manchester to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Newark with United in business. And they got to Manchester and was like, sorry, you can't check in because it doesn't match the passport. So that was a whole thing. What they didn't know is that I was flying from New York to Frankfurt to meet them to take the same flight back. So one problem... Like you do. One problem is that they were struggling to check in because of the whole name thing.
Yeah.
I was meant to be flying to Frankfurt to meet them, but my flight was overbooked. So I got bumped to Amsterdam. So I then had to fly from New York to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to Frankfurt just to meet them. So that was a whole other complication. Obviously, the time difference, they thought I was fast asleep. Obviously, they thought I should have been fast asleep.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just going to wait up until the early hours of the morning to make sure that you're okay. I was using the Wi-Fi on the flight to keep up with them and try and change the name on the booking and all of that.
It's still a good few years ago. So
this is like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
They do manage to get checked in, and it's all sorted. I do manage to get there. It's all great. I managed to figure out with the airline so that they allowed me to pre-board the aircraft with the crew. So by the time parents and all the other guests were coming on, I then walk out with a tray of champagne. So mum bursts into tears, can't handle it. Fast forward to landing in New York, and one of their suitcases didn't arrive because of the whole name and luggage. And yeah, we think it was maybe purposeful, but that's another thing. And back then, she's changed her packing rules, but back then she had a suitcase of shoes and a suitcase of clothes. And naturally, the suitcase of shoes arrived.
Yeah.
So she had a load of different choices of footwear, but nothing else. So yes, that's my slightly lengthy story.
It's kind of like some nice bits in there, but with a lot of stress.
A lot of stress, so much stress.
The sentiment was behind it.
Turning up and being like, ta-da!
Yeah, and the 10-hour flight in business altogether was so great. Really lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So special.
But please always tell us your name as per your passport. I always state that as per your passport, because so many people go by middle names or abbreviations or whatever.
Yeah. Andy, Andrew, all of those. Passport.
Gosh.
Then you don't do what I did.
Yeah.
How about you?
Mine is in Abu Dhabi, but not the Abu Dhabi trip that I just did.
Okay.
You don't know about that. This was honeymoon Abu Dhabi, actually. So 2019, we were driving into the desert. The hotel where we were staying is the Anantara
Al-Khazar.
Al Sarab, I think it's called.
Okay.
2 hours into the desert. It looks like a giant sandcastle.
I do know this.
You do know this story. We picked up a hire car to drive to the property, and you come out of the airport, and basically the road, there's a roundabout and the road splits. And so Google Maps was telling us to go down this way. I was navigator. I'm the worst navigator in the world, but we took the other road. But when I looked on maps, I was like, oh, it's fine. They basically just split and meet, and then you end up, it's fine. No, don't need to stress. We continue on this road, this desert road, for 2 hours. It's nighttime. We've been going over an hour and a half. I mean, there's no lights, there's nobody, there's no other vehicles, there is nothing. We're burning fuel like you won't believe. And then start to see signs for skull and crossbones, and then red crosses, and then black crosses. All, a different language, so don't really know. And then we just get to these gates, just these big, massive metal gates, skull and crossbones, do not enter.
Like a prison.
It's like something out of Ace Ventura.
I still actually to this day don't even know what it was. And you spun your lights and it was just sand. Just nothing but
oh my
sand.
God, that's terrifying.
So dark. No Wi-Fi, no, we were okay for petrol, but not great. The only option we had was to turn around, drive back 2 hours, join the road that we should have been on for another 2 hours. We got there like 2 a.m. It was ridiculous. But that was quite scary, just being so far in the middle of nowhere with these. I don't know if it was some like gas plant or I'm not sure. The hotel
toxic
was
hazard.
like a toxic, I don't know, something.
Jeez.
But there was no signs that would indicate that we shouldn't have gone down there until it was too late.
That would make me
The
panic.
hotel were like, oh yeah, no, you can't go that way. You have to go this way.
But ever since, you've never been allowed to navigate again.
No.
Goodness.
So that was
I'd hate that.
quite a thing.
Okay, so mine was when I was a singer, and I'd already done a couple of contracts on board ships previously from the UK across to Rotterdam or wherever, and so I'd never experienced seasickness before. And then I was contracted to do a short stint from Plymouth to Santander.
Oof.
And in January.
I was going to say what month?
Yeah, January.
On the P&O ferries.
On the P&O ferries. Right at the start of my career. Honestly, it was such an experience. But I remember getting on and being like, amazing. This is a great experience. Anyway, sat down in my stool, and that's when the boat leaves. And I could just feel the rocking, and it was just too much for my stomach to handle. And I had to do
sick on the train from
honestly,
Manchester to London.
yeah, terrible passenger. I had to do 3 45-minute sets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was on this stage, this circular stage, on a twizzly stool. So as the boat was moving, my chair was moving, and my iPad is like balanced
trying to look at a
on this
screen.
mic stand, moving further and further away from me while my chair is spinning. In between each set, the curtains would come and I would have to run off stage and then have a half an hour turnaround before I'm singing again for another 45 minutes. Oh. I was supposed to be on the ship for 3 weeks. I was on for 3 days.
Oh my
it was
God.
honestly, it was awful.
Was it a ferry?
Yeah, it was a ferry crossing. Yeah.
Have you ever been on a ferry since?
No. It was honestly absolutely horrific. I've never experienced seasickness like it. Mm-hmm. And it was such a last minute contract. And I remember messaging the agent at the time and being like, I simply cannot sing. I can barely hold down water. So you're going to have to find somebody else, mate.
That was that career over and done with.
Yeah, it was. Not the career, but my sea legs, that was.
We don't book many ferries, do we? So
I don't book many ferries, no. And if we do, it's usually to like some remote, beautiful island somewhere like Beckway. And however, when things go wrong, we have your back. I just want to finish on that note.
Seasickness and everything.
Yeah.